Bold predictions coming from you to me. You guys claim you believe in this. Well, let's see how much you believe in it, because we got a lot of boldness in the batch that you sent in tonight. I love the first one. The first one's from Dean from Littleton, Colorado. He said, no conference favorite will win their conference title. Well, wouldn't this be chaotic, Af? So Dean says, Georgia, nope. Texas, Clemson, absolutely not. USC, sorry. Ohio State, nope. Now, I think that you, just like me, could look at this or listen to that list that I just gave you, and you could say, oh, I could see Bama winning the SEC. Oh, I could see Oregon or Washington winning the Pac-12. I could see Oklahoma winning the Big 12, or Kansas State, or whomstever. I could see Michigan. Most of you probably think Michigan's going to win the Big 10. I could see Florida State. Well, yeah, in and of themselves, none of those are too crazy. You need every one of those favorites to falter, though. And that's why this is a 9.25 on the boldness scale. Now, Dean, here's what would be really crazy. Since you already started us down the road, what if it's not Bama that wins the SEC? What if it's like Tennessee? What if it's not Oklahoma? What if it is Kansas State or Texas Tech? What if it's not Florida State that wins the ACC? What if it's, I don't know, Louisville or someone like that? What if it's Penn State instead of Michigan? What if my Oregon Ducks out there, number 5, all of a sudden they're mine now, number 5, what if it's not them? What if it's Oregon State? Number 15, I think, in the JP poll. And my point is, you could have a chaos season. We could be on the precipice. We could be on the brink, you and I, Dean. We could be on the brink of something really, really crazy happening this year. I think all the signs are there. I think I might have to do another Dante's Peak metaphor before the season starts. I feel it coming, immunity, and so I think I'm going to have to do one. Next up, I should have mentioned NC State here. Braxton from Gastonia, North Carolina, where they play really good men's slow pitch softball, I'm told. Braxton said NC State will win 10 games or more this year. 10 is the magic number in Raleigh, because that is what Dave Doran has failed to do. Dave Doran came there in he's been there 10 years already. Dave Doran came there in 2013. Here are the number of wins per year. 3, 8, 7, 7, 9, 9, 4, 8, 9, 8. So you got 3 9-win seasons, got 3 8-win seasons, has not had a 10-win season. 6.5 is the over-under win total for NC State. I was on Pack Pride the other night on the YouTube channel there for our NC State team site. I told them, and I think I'll tell you guys, I think NC State is so anonymous as a Power 5 program nationally. They shouldn't be, though. They're parked in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's a really big media market. I don't think NC State has ever properly harnessed Raleigh. I don't think if you live in, let's say, Dallas, Texas, when you think of North Carolina State, I do not think you guys think of Raleigh, North Carolina. That is a failure in marketing. Winning on the football field would probably help there, but you gotta leverage Raleigh. You got to do that. And the other thing you got to do is you got to have Brennan Armstrong come through for you this year. If you're going to win 10 games, which is a 9.5 on the boldness scale, by the way. If you're going to win 10 games, Brennan Armstrong, who transferred there from Virginia with his offensive coordinator, he got to be really good. Got to be really good, and those wide receivers have to round into form, and you got to win. You probably have to upset either Notre Dame or I think they get Clemson at home, I believe. But this is tough. They play 4 of the top 5 in the ACC and Notre Dame, so that's tough. 6.5. I think they're going over the win total. I don't think they're going to hit 10 this year. Next up, interesting prediction here. Cody from Montgomery, Alabama. Do we know anyone else from Montgomery? I know someone from Millbrook who sold out and left Montgomery. I don't know anyone from Montgomery now, I don't think. Anyway, Cody said Alabama has 2 rushers over 1,000 yards this year. You know, I said the other day, I think Bama could lead the SEC in rushing this year. So you would think that I'm buying into this happening. I actually don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be for a lack of rush yardage. I just think it's going to be spread a little bit too far around the running back room and quarterback position for 2 guys to isolate and elevate. I think they'll have one 1,000-yard rusher. Maybe it's Jace McClellan. Maybe it's Roydell Williams. Maybe it's Jalen Milroe. Milroe, in the 2 games he started last year, I think had 172 rushing yards. So he could do that. I don't think that they're going to have a couple 1,000-yard rushers, though. And I think they're going to have really, really good rushing numbers this year. I just think they'll be spread too thin. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs last year didn't have 1,000. They didn't run the ball nearly as much as they will this year. He had 926 last year. So I think this is an 8.5. Not crazy. I don't think it'll happen, but I think it could be the kind of year where they have like 4 or 5 guys over 450 rushing yards with one of them at 1,200, another one at 740, a quarterback with 650, like that kind of thing. Next up and last for bold predictions tonight. This would be a spear. This would be a dagger to the ribs out in the Pac-12. Keith from Columbia, South Carolina said, the Pac-12 has no top 10 team after conference title Saturday. I made this a 9. Pac-12 Pate here. Hand across chest, right between the boobs, right there. Hand across chest. I think they're going to have one. I think they may have 2. So hear me out here. In the JP poll, we have Oregon number 5 in the preseason. We have USC number 10. In the AP, they have USC number 6 and Washington number 10. So in the preseason, each of us has 2 teams out of the Pac-12 in the top 10. We got 4 months of football to play, though. You could either have wipeout happen out there or you could have ascension happen. So wipeout would be obviously everyone beating everyone and you just got a bunch of good but no great. Ascension would mean a couple of teams or at least one team starts to elevate and separate themselves and they're going to go 10-2 or better. Voila, there's my top 10 team. Now, obviously, I'm high on Oregon. I think USC's got what it takes. If there is health and improvement in the secondary, I think Washington has what it takes. I think someone's going to rise, maybe 2. So this is a 9 for me. I think the Pac-12 will have at least one top 10 team. I think I know that.